Y'all, welcome back. My name is Tiara and I am the owner of Black Teacup. In this week's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I created this Valdosta State University tumbler. You do not have to use Valdosta State. You can use any college that you want. And this was pretty much a gift for a high school graduate that was going off to college. And I did make a matching t-shirt to go along with it. And I'm going to post that at the end of this video, so make sure you check it out. I will have everything linked in the description box below. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Thanks.
Alright, so we're going to start out with a traditional 20-ounce tumbler. It's already been sanded and cleaned and prepped, and now we're going to go ahead and spray paint the cup using Rust-Oleum Flat Black, and we're going to be using Apple Red by Rust-Oleum as well. And we chose red and black, of course, because it matches Valdosta State University. Of course, you can go in with any colors you need to match the university that you're making the cup for. So I'm just going to ombre the colors, red and black. I did red on the top and black on the bottom. I am doing short, quick bursts. It doesn't matter if you have drips because your glitter is going to go over it, but still try to be careful with your spray paint. You don't want it to be messy. This is pretty much our base coat. It's going to show us where to put our glitters. It kind of gives us a roadmap to the next steps. So I will let my spray paint dry. It dries pretty quickly in the garage here because it's pretty hot. After it's dry to touch, I'll go ahead and apply my glitter using the epoxy method. You are going to pretty much use less than 5 ml to coat your cup, and that's going to be used as an adhesive for your glitter. You don't want the epoxy dripping. You just want a very thin layer, enough to coat the cup. For the glitters, I'll be using Red Slippers by Lily's Glitter Shop and Onyx that I got from Walmart. So I'm going to start with the black glitter. I'm going to give it a nice full 1-inch line of black glitter before I tilt my cup and start letting it fall at an angle. You want to hold the glitter up high and kind of just tap it so that a little bit falls out at a time. You're not really going for full coverage at this point. You just want to kind of lay out where your glitter is going to be. So at one point while glittering this cup, I did accidentally pour too much glitter, or it came out too fast. I lost control of it. But it's okay. I ended up covering it with the decals. So if you have one spot that you don't like, maybe think about decal placement to save it. Don't be too hard on yourself. So now I'm going in with my red glitter. This is Red Slippers from Lily's Glitter Shop. It is a chunky glitter, and I'm going in the same way with the 1-inch all the way around the rim, and then I'm going to tilt my cup and let the rest of it kind of like sprinkle or dust down the sides of the cup. Again, I'm not going for full coverage. I am just going to lightly go around the cup one time. Once I have my red glitter where I want it, I'll go back in with my black glitter and just fill in any spots that I missed. And then I went back in with my red to fill in any spots at the top as well. So I'll let this cup dry for at least 6 hours before I take it outside to seal it with a matte clear spray paint. After my cup has dried from being sealed, I'll go ahead and bring it back in, and it's ready for its first coat of epoxy. I'll generally apply my epoxy to one color at a time, even though I sprayed the clear sealer just to be extra careful. This cup will take more epoxy because it is a chunky glitter. If it was a fine glitter, you wouldn't need as much. So be prepared to go in with a second coat after 4 to 6 hours if needed, if it's still kind of bumpy or rough. So I let my cup spin overnight, and the next day it was still bumpy. I did go in with a second coat of epoxy to just smooth it out before we go in with decals and sanding. It's best to go ahead with your second coat within 4 to 6 hours. That way you don't have to sand in between additional coats. So after I applied my second coat, I'm going to just let this cup sit for like a day or so, and I'm going to get started with the next step. So next I'm going to go ahead and start getting my decals ready. I am offsetting the name with the white background, and her name's going to be in the actual black font. And we're also going to add Valdosta State Girl to the cup as well, which will also be offset black and white. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I use a Silhouette Cameo and I use Silhouette Studio for my projects. If you guys ever have any questions on how to do something in particular, you can just leave it in the comments below and I don't mind helping out. Also, you can join my Facebook group where you can ask questions and I'm there to help as well. So here I'm just weeding all of my letters, and then I'll take my transfer tape and transfer the name over to the offset layer. And I'll layer that before I put that on the cup. So here you will see me doing layering. I am taking my black vinyl name and putting it on top of the white. And I'm kind of putting it at an angle so that it looks like a shadow almost. It's not directly centered on top of the white. You'll kind of want to eyeball it and be careful before you lay it down, because once you put that vinyl down on top of the other vinyl, it's no way to get it back up without stretching it and ripping it. So just make sure your placement is right before you actually press it down. So once I have everything combined together and layered, I'll go ahead and pick that up with my transfer tape and then apply it to my cup. What transfer tape do you guys use? If you can see here, I was having a little issue with my transfer tape. So if you have any recommendations, please put them in the comments below. I appreciate it very much. So for the actual girl here, I purchased this SVG file on Etsy. The letter jacket was purple and green, I believe, but I did modify it to be red and white, and I added V State to the girl's sleeve so that it looks like a Letterman jacket. So you can modify it to any college that you want and change the colors. And again, if you have questions on how to do that, I do not mind helping. Just put a question in the comments below and I can make a video on that if need be. I did print the girl out using printable vinyl. It's easier for me, that way I didn't have to go outside and seal it 3 or 4 times with a water slide. So printable vinyl is an option, but if you don't have printable vinyl, you can use water slide. Of course, with the water slide, you will need to seal it before you can apply epoxy or apply it to the cup. With this printable vinyl, I did not have to clear coat or seal it. I went directly in with my next layer of epoxy after all of my decals were placed. So now I'm going to apply my next coat of epoxy. I probably use 40 ml. I'm going to let this cup spin overnight before moving on to my next step. And then also go through with your torch afterwards to make sure you pop any bubbles. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead the next day with sanding. I'm using my Rotary sander as always to go around the rim of my cup to expose the very fine line of stainless steel. I got this helpful tip from Jessica Flynn over at Flynn Sisters Boutique. I do this to all of my cups and I mention it in all of my videos. It is definitely a game changer. After I have exposed that very thin line of stainless steel, I'll go ahead and sand the rest of my cup and wash it with Dawn dish soap and wipe it down with alcohol before going in with my final layer of epoxy. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This is my final coat of epoxy. It didn't need any more coats after that, and it made a very nice gift for a high school graduate going to college. And with this particular order, I made a matching shirt. Y'all, look how cute this turned out. I love the outcome. But yeah, so you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified every time I post a new video, which will be every Wednesday. Also, be sure to join us over on Facebook. Our group is Black Teacup Community. Thanks for watching, guys.